Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is a recipe I've been wanting to do for quite a while, but with all the rest of the stuff going on with the allotment, it's been really tricky to fit it in. But we're up the cabin today for the day, so I'm going to be doing some dock seed bread. It is the first time I've ever done it, so you will have to bear with me. I've got the recipe here, and it is no egg and no milk, because I wanted to find a bread that I could make if shops weren't available, and the dairy and eggs and stuff like that we didn't have. So I wanted to find a recipe that would fit in with that, a true prepper bread, rather than the flat breads and stuff like that. So let's give it a go. So this is the dock seeds that I've milled already. So that's it in the mill, that's before, and that's the flour. 2 cups of dock seeds. I've already turned the oven on. It's 375 degrees Fahrenheit, gas mark 5. Says you'll need 2 cups of dock seeds, 1.5 cups of chickpea flour, but I'm using the courgette flour that I've made, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 3 teaspoons of baking soda, a dash of salt if you want, half a cup of sugar, honey or syrup as a sweetener, vanilla extract, half a teaspoon, 3 tablespoons of oil, 3 tablespoons of vinegar, and 3/4 of a cup of water. So it says grind enough brown curly dock seeds to make 2 cups. That's in there. Add to the bowl, add the baking powder, baking soda, salt and sugar. So I've added the baking powder and the soda. Let's find some salt. And sugar. Half a cup. Actually, I'm not going to add quite half a cup. I'm going to add just under that, because I have read that the dock flour is quite sweet anyway. Right, blend well and set to one side. Might use a bigger bowl. In goes the pumpkin flour and 3/4 of cups of water. And it says whisk to a smooth creamy paste. Next we'll add the wet ingredients to the blended curly dot bowl, add the vanilla extract and the oil. So the vanilla extract was half a teaspoon. Oil is 3 tablespoons. I'm just using some corn oil. A bit more because that's a soup spoon, so I think it's a bit smaller. And pour the chickpea flour on top. So we've added the vanilla extract and the oil and the flour mix. Add the vinegar last using a spoon, stir it all together quickly and dough will rise up and then fall before settling into a final shape in the bowl. So be sure you are using at least a medium-sized bowl for this. Okay, so 3 tablespoons. It looks very dry to me at the moment. 3 tablespoons of vinegar. One, 2, 3. I'm going to go for another half. Yes, it has started bubbling already. This is very dry at the moment. Right, so we do not at this point have a batter. So I'm going to have to add some more water. Check the ingredients, 3/4 cups of water, half a cup of honey. Yes, I've done it all right, but we do not have a batter. So I'm going to add half a cup of water more. The whole cup. We still do not have a batter. We've just got a lumpy stuff. Just keeps absorbing the water. I believe it. Well, I'm going to go for a bit extra of everything. Baking powder. little splash of vanilla essence, a little bit more oil. I'm going to try and get it like a batter, as if it was a courgette cake or something like that. Oh, we got some mixed spice. Let's add a bit of mixed spice. Where's the bicarb? Let's have another one of those. Give it a good stir. Feels like it's going to be a bit of a disaster, but I'm just trying to get down to a batter that just keeps absorbing. It's almost like I could have done with half the amount of curly dock seeds. Whether it was the courgette flour, that might be the issue. Maybe that was too dry. Don't think I need any more baking powder. So I don't have a batter, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try half of it. I've got two tins or silicone trays here. I'm going to try half as it is and half, see if I need a bit more. I think the issue is that I've used the courgette flour, which is more absorbent than the chickpea flour, but we'll see what happens. So I thought I had the camera running earlier when I added another cup. So I had this one that you saw, and then to the other half of the mix I added another cup of water to see what sort of a difference that would make. The one that didn't have so much water in it I think it's ready. I put a knife in it and it comes out clean. It does say to get it out of here as quick as possible. Challenging. It looks absolutely nothing like bread. I don't really know what I was expecting, or even if I, you know, obviously we had all the problems with the recipe being way too dry, so my ratios may be off when I added all the water. So I'm going to try and turn this out and see what it looks like. Well, it's out. It's in one piece. I don't know whether I should let it cool off for a little while. I think so. I just don't want it to be, I wanted to check the inside really to see if it was done. Oh, More like a sponge. That's a bit out of the middle. Right, let's just leave that like that. And I've got this little piece here, which is quite crumbly. But we'll see how it goes. It may be that next time I replace some of the flour. It may, yeah, maybe I should replace the actual flour with apple sauce or something like that, because apple sauce acts like an egg as a binder, and I think that's what the flour and the water was the binding agent. So maybe next time I shall just go straight for an apple sauce or something like that. But we'll see how this works. I've got a little bit left in the pan. Oh, the horse is outside. I've left a little bit in the pan, and I've got some apple sauce, so I'm wondering whether to add a good dollop and see what happens with that batch. I could do that. Let's do that. This is some of the apple sauce that I made the other day. I've got 2 big spoonfuls in there. I like the look of that better, I have to say. Right, pop that one in the oven. Definitely different. Can't even work out what it tastes like. I'm thinking maybe a bit more mixed spice in that other one before it gets going. Let's do that quickly. Well, proof of the pudding is in the eating, so we'll wait to see what happens. So this is number 2. This was the one that I just added an extra cup of water to that one. The recipe does say to get them out straight away, otherwise they start to sweat. So this again looks quite crumbly. It's not stuck around the edges because these little things are great. They're very hot, but very. Let's see. Ooh. Still a bit doughy in the middle, actually. That one. No. I'm going to pop him back in the oven. That one took about 35 minutes. This one I had put in for another 10 minutes because it was looking doughy still, but right on the bottom this is still a bit wet, so I'm going to put it back in the oven. So I literally couldn't write the script. Luckily I was in the caravan part, and I heard the gas flickering, and the gas was on its way out, so, and then it totally went off. So I went out to change the bottle and the spanner was missing. It's always in the same place apart from if one certain person's used it in the house and he never puts anything back. So anyway, I run around and got this really old spanner, managed to change it in the end, got the cake out, bread out. It looks quite cracked, very soft, so that's good. The one that I've put the apple in is only just starting to cook really, but it is smelling really nice. So I'm going to try and get this one, well, I won't have to try and get it out. I'm going to try and get it out in one piece. It's already been tipped out once already, so ooh, he's very crumbly. This isn't going to work at all. That sounded like it would come out in bits. Oops. Still a little bit wet in the bottom, but we'll see what happens. They both look quite dark, but they're not burnt. I think that's just how it does look. I did read that if you do them in a frying pan and stuff, they always cook up quite dark. So we'll let that cool off. I'll have a cup of tea, wait for that one to cook, and then we can get the last one out. So they do say proof of the pudding is in the eating. I've allowed all 3 cakes to cool so that I know the comparison is the same. So this is the first one that had the least amount of water in. It's very crumbly, very soft. It's almost like a consistency of a chocolate brownie, but without the extra chocolate taste. It's definitely edible. Definitely edible. I'd want to make some alterations. I think I want to try a couple of the other ways of doing it, but if that was all I had to eat, I wouldn't be disappointed. So this is the one with more water in it. Looks pretty much the same, if I'm honest. Hasn't really altered. Apart from it's just a bit more soft. This is the one that has got apple sauce in it. So I say it definitely holds together a little bit better. It's a much nicer flavour because obviously it's got the extra sweetness. I mean, when I did the ratios for these, I upped everything, but I didn't up the sugar. But obviously this will have the sugar from the apple sauce. It's not unpleasant by any stretch of the imagination. It's a bit branny, if that's the right word, which I almost expected anyway. I did look at the paperwork that I had, and it did say that it is more of a sponge bread. So I don't think we're a long way away from the recipe that it should have been, considering all the problems that I've had. My preferred one is the one with the apple sauce, and could probably add a bit more apple sauce to it and just eat it. I'd be really happy with that. Yes, definitely worth pursuing and giving it another go. I think I will do next time, I will do half a batch with the eggs, so I know what that looks like and what it tastes like, and then I will do the other half of the batch with apple sauce to replace the eggs. But other than that, considering the problems I've had, pretty happy, and if needed, all would be edible. So I hope you found this helpful and informative. If not, found it entertaining. It was certainly a longer day than I anticipated, with a lot more challenges, but that is life. So thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye.